Wow. Wow. It is chilly out here, everybody. It is chilly. But here we are. Do I try to get this car to be more loud? The danger is he'll put it up on the lift. And I'm like, hey, man, can we make it even louder? It'd be like, well, sure. Sure, we make it louder. How much money you got in your pocket today, Mr. Iceman? So let's get the heat on. The heated seats. Because, like I say, it's chilly. It's so confusing on this whole, I mean, even for me, every time I get in this car, whatever. Everybody, technology, about driving me nuts. Yeah, my phone as usual. This phone has so many videos on it. I make so much content videos. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the la, as we get the car, talking to the kid this morning. And, yeah, I mean, what's interesting is, for me, you know, the kid, whether you realize it or not, I used to support my kid financially. And that's all done. Her accounts are going to zero. And I'm like, so I just had a conversation with my daughter. And by no means is she calling me, expecting me to do things for her per se, but her accounts are all linked to my accounts, and I see they're all going to negative balances and zero accounts, and I'm calling her and I'm saying, just so you know, I just put enough money in your account to bring it back to zero balance, but I said, you know, it's time to start crossing the bridge, that you're a married woman, you got a husband. And I said, so, I mean, I don't know. In fact, by no means this is criticism to her by any, you know, once again, I'm just sharing with you. I've been on the phone this morning with the ICE girls saying, all right, does this make any sense anymore that I'm paying for all this stuff? And then I'm paying you when you don't work for me anymore and you don't stay at home and take care of the house. She totally gets it. So I'm like, all right. I think it's time, which was interesting. She's actually saying to me, do all this here as I entertain you guys. It's not easy, everybody. It's very challenging, the Iceman. But so she's raising her hand and saying, I think it's time to sell the horse. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. He said, or bring it down here. I'm like, I would not do that to that horse. Do not do it. That horse will be down a whole different environment. It'll be very psychologically challenging for him. And plus it's the money factor. It's a lot of money, but who knows? We don't know. We'll have to explore that a little bit more. And for those people that know me and know the Prancer, that's a beautiful horse. And so, but I'm really sure that the wife is going to say no. I guarantee you, I'm going to be like, honey, it's $1,500 a month between board and feed with no medical issues. And we don't have any more insurance on that horse. God forbid if that horse got very sick, I have no insurance for that horse that is going to pay the so-called bills. That's a pain in the ass every year. Eventually I turned it over and looked at my daughter, and wife said, you guys deal with all this paperwork. Every year you got to go through this detailed forms, possible vet visit, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you know, I don't have time for this. You guys do this stuff. And nobody took the charge like 2 years ago to continue to keep the horse having insurance. But for all the health issues he's had, those are now exempt. You can't use them. So once your horse gets really sick and it's labeled and marked, the following year you renew your insurance, they check off that stuff isn't covered anymore. We won't have that anymore. So, you know, there's a fine line of that insurance your horse. Really, you're protected. Besides the horse dying, then you get paid a reasonable fee of what the value of the horse would be maybe in the market. So, again, I was just having a conversation with my daughter. It's like, hey, you know, I guess it's time for the husband to, which, once again, there's no doubt in my mind, he's going to take care of her. So this isn't criticism. It's just, you know, it's come to the point where for me, it's like, okay. It's, and you know, and I always say pray for a miracle, because all the crap I'm going through in my life, of the finances that I've created on my behalf, and once again, in so many ways, it's borderline pray for a miracle happened in my life, because the obligations of the cars and motorcycles and me paying the kid to work for me and me paying for the kid to help take care of the property and funding her monies, this is going to be a big difference. But the reality is, it just now is kind of starting to happen because she hasn't been gone for a month. And she's also saying time to sell the white Harley. Yeah, so she's like, let's sell the Harley. So the white Harley Davidson Street Glide, she's like, get rid of it. Yeah, I'm like, all right. I said, you know what? Let's just take a little breather, give it about a month or so. Let's just kind of evaluate things and we'll see where it's going. But for the moment, I'd have to honestly say, and in all reality, I said, at some point, you got to bring back the race truck. She's like, that's fine. So it's all good. I mean, once again, my daughter is such a great person, and I really tried the best I could to raise her to make it where these material things weren't the difference of her happiness or unhappiness. And I really went out of my way to really just show her on having material things are really cool, but at the end of the day, it isn't really what makes you happy. What makes you happy is the people that you have around you and who you are and the disciplines of the way you live your life and how you take care of yourself. And I tried to really, really, really just share with her and show her that all this, all the goodies that your daddy has, in the end, has it created his happiness? No, it's created more havoc and unhappiness. It's borderline divided my marriage. For the most part, it has. My car addictions and habits, there ain't no woman out there that's would have ever put up with what I did in my relationship with my wife. And I get that. I know that. And that's created hard, divisions in my relationship with my wife, of my constant addiction to buying cars and trucks and motorcycles. And that's played out. I'm coming up my 29th anniversary. Do I make it to my 30th? Does my wife, now that the kid's gone out of the house, everything starts to change. Did my wife and I really reconnect again when we kind of lost that relationship years ago, from just me being so close to my daughter, and then just the never-ending me on social media going out and doing the most radical things I've ever done in my lifetime, of buying material things just to try to build a social media channel that in her eyes is a total waste, total failure, that, it's ridiculous to try to toe heel to the YouTube, social media, that all this is going to make you something. And her position is, you're a fool. You're a fool. So it's definitely the change of guard, meaning that the responsibilities of mine, of Julia, are no longer. So I'm not the guardian parent per se anymore. She's an adult, and it's a new era for the Iceman. A new era for the Iceman. And what's he going to do with the new era? What is he going to do on this rainy, really chilly day? It's out, everybody. It's 59 degrees. And look at the miles per gallon of this thing. This thing sucks. I wonder if I can reset this. Hit the OK button. Does it do it? No. Didn't do it. Let's see. Driver assistance. And I'm going to hit this guy right here because everybody's stopped up here. This is a very dangerous area. People do crash all the time because of this stupid ass light that really shouldn't be here. So I'm resetting the fuel trip right now. Okay, so now there we go. So this car, this is going to be very interesting. If this car really is that bad, I can't get my damn car to go. Come on, man. Freaking these shorty shifters are they're nice, but man, if you don't really just jam that thing in there, not so much. And I'm probably on the cusp of a lot of people leaving town. I know one thing, if I was going to Florida or Tennessee, I probably would have left today. Because tomorrow's going to be a joke. Now my wife, I don't know. I don't know if my wife's heading down tomorrow, Friday, I don't know. And here we are, and inside this car, but here's the thing. There's different track modes. So we go over here. So we go to the exhaust, custom mode, and then we go back. So I should have gone back. See, this is where, so track, it's on track mode, I think. Is it? I don't know. So I think it's on track mode. Or is it? Let's go. Let's see. Whoa. Yeah, I'm in track mode right now. So the whole point is, that's everything right there on this exhaust note. Yeah, the roads. I told Mac, it's like, he wanted me to come over there at 3 o'clock today. I forgot about going over this morning. I got all involved in my business. And I truly did get caught up in, let's see here, go to like the CarPlay. I got caught up in doing all my paper in my office. I looked down on my watch. It's 10:50. I was supposed to be over here at Max at 11 o'clock. And it's so funny, I called him, and I'm like, you know, he's like, hey, man. I'm like, hey. He's like, oh, you're the Jeep guy. And I'm like, right. He's like, all I wrote down last week when you came by is Jeep. I didn't put your name next to it. And I was like, yeah. I said, but it's so late. He's like, but I got another guy, Jeep Gladiator, coming by at 3 o'clock. Why don't you come back? And he's like, well, hold on. Let me see what's going on. I'll call you back. And so he called me back 15 minutes later. He goes, yeah, come by at 3 o'clock today, and we can have the 2 Jeep Gladiators in my shop doing exhaust things on them. And I said, I don't know. 3 o'clock's too late for me, dude. I don't want to be getting out of your shop at 5 o'clock and sitting here in all the freaking, all the traffic. I just don't want to do that. And so he's like, well, when do you want to come over? I said, well, I don't know. Maybe we just pass. He's like, no, come on, man. Come on over. I'm like, but I don't know if it's worth the Jeep Gladiator doing it, man. I don't really think there's going to be much difference in that exhaust. And he's like, is that thing turbo? I'm like, no. It's that Weakling V6 Pentastar motor. I'm like, do you really think that thing's going to sound any better? Can we do like a side exhaust? He said, we definitely get him an aesthetic look that would be pretty cool. But then I was like, but do you really think it's going to be? And then that's kind of where I could just sense he's like, yeah, it ain't going to be much. And, you know, when we're talking like $1,000, I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So now I'm going over there. So then we came to closure. He said, just come on by now. Whenever you get here, just bring whatever you want to bring. He's like, I don't care. Do whatever you want. If you're going to do the Mustang redo, that's fine. Just bring whatever you want. I'm like, all right, see you in a while. And I think this is a far better decision because I just don't think the Jeep is the right answer. Chicago Bears. And it's the Camaro, my generation Z28 copper up here. And they do have, you know, exhaust ordinances here. So, you know, if you get your car radical, I don't know if it's a first offense though. I don't know on exhaust noise level. On tint, they can't pull you over just for tint. They got to pull you over for some driving violation, and then they can give you a tint ticket. But I don't know about exhaust. So 12.5 miles per gallon. You would think with the supercharger, this thing would probably get a little better economy. But for the moment, no, it's not. 12.5, wow.